So my intention is to answer this question as what I would do as an ideal career because I like to fantasize about different lives that I could have had and what it might be like to live as certain people. And I'm just going to jump into my answer real quick. I think my ideal career would be to be a musician. I'm not sure how surprising that answer is going to be to you guys because I do talk about music a lot on this channel, but I talk about a lot of things that I love on this channel. So for a bit of reasoning why, I do like the idea of pursuing a creative career, but like for many people, I don't see much of a future in that career because the career can be very selective. I just think that there's so much that you can do with art and it would be really fulfilling for me and my personality, but I don't think that I have the stick-to-itiveness to be able to actually pursue that as a career and deal with all the rejection that you need to. But if we're talking about ideal career, then that's where I'm at because music is the thing that I've been most interested in creating for the longest amount of time. I love the process of making music, whereas for something like movies, I've loved those products for a lot longer, but the process I haven't really been interested in until more recently. And I've never really been that interested in making movies for a couple different reasons, besides having some what I think are cool ideas for scripts and scenes and such. My issue with movies is mostly that there are so many pieces that need to come together, and each piece has such a high barrier for entry. I could never really conceive of myself being the head of a movie or like the director. And for each piece that I could conceive of myself actually doing and joining, most of them have such a high cost to actually get into. For instance, I can imagine myself getting really into cinematography and making really cool cinematography, but lights are super expensive, and the cameras and the lenses that you would need to actually do something like that are super expensive as well. I need to start something to be able to fall in love with it, and for cinematography, it would be difficult for me to just say, hey, I'm gonna start this thing as a hobby when it costs so much to do. And a place that I could conceive of starting something like that would be like Instagram and creating really good Instagram photos, but that doesn't interest me in and of itself. Now, another artsy thing that I like to do is writing poems, writing stories, pretty much all different kinds of writing. This has a much lower barrier to entry. You really just need something to get your words down on. But I have never actually really been able to prove to myself that I'm a good writer. Don't get me wrong, I do think that I can and I have written some good stuff. I've been complimented on stories by people that I respect who are really good writers. And I'm sure that if I practice a lot, I could get better at writing, but I've never won a competition for writing something. I've never had someone in awe of my writing before, but some place that I have had people in awe of is music. And in music, at least playing music, you know whether you're doing something right or not. And with writing, even the most beloved writers have their detractors. And I don't think that I could deal with that kind of ambiguity. Also, a bit of an inverse to the movie point, writing is such a singular thing. I can't write when other people are watching me, but with music, I can both play and create music when other people are watching me, or by myself if I wanted to. There's a lot more creative wiggle room for me with music, and there's a way that I can balance my desire to collaborate and also to work alone. Also, just having stuck with music for a lot longer than writing, I know it's something that I can do and do for a while. Music is something I've stuck with for so long, and I've loved it for the entirety of it, and I've shown a bit of a knack for it. It's the only hobby that I did in school that I'm kind of sad that I'm not doing anymore. I'm kind of supplementing playing music at the moment with just listening to music, but I know that one day I'll jump back into playing music, whether that's playing percussion like I have been, or some other kind of instrument like guitar or piano. Either way, I can't imagine not having music be in my life, and so I think that's a pretty good indicator that it's something I could do for the rest of my life.